faith in me. This is the right fit. And never in a million years did I imagine not being a Cowboy once I put on this uniform and put on this star. This is my home. I'm not leaving. I'm a Cowboy. This is only the beginning.
We continue our NFL Draft Blitz today with Southern Steve's Cowboys. Dallas has the 10th pick in the draft, and last week's Caesars Sportsbook by William Hill projected Jerry's boys to have 9.5 wins and finish atop the NFC East. We'll see what Danny Dimes has to say about that. Stephen A., before we get into the debate, though, you had something you wanted to say.
Max Kellerman, in regards to our conversation about Jake Paul, and I brought up Nate Robinson. Y'all can put me up on the split screen because I want to see Max and Molly here. I got a source close to Nate Robinson. I would like to read to you what that source told me. Quote, Nate walked out the arena, realized he was not well trained, he was not trained well, apologized for not listening, and collected a little over $2 million for that fiasco. He's fine. Working on a TV show. They are trying to get him to fight in a rematch. If you can believe that. Floyd Money Mayweather wants to train him if he agrees. Crazy, but true. I have told him not to do it. But if he does, it has to be for more money. And he needs to train with a pro and for a very long time.
Stephen A., you get knocked out that way, you collect $2 million. You think you're getting more for the rematch? Even getting a rematch?
Well, let me say this to you. I think it's possible because of Jake Paul's elevating popularity that Nate Robinson could get more. I would strongly advise Nate Robinson never to go into that ring with Jake Paul again. Never. Not that kind of knockout. Not that. You
know what we got now, though? Celebrity trainers are coming. Here comes Floyd, and how long before someone hops in the other corner?
No, he doesn't need to do that. He doesn't need to do it. Listen, I never laughed and I didn't joke about Nate Robinson. I was worried about him because I love the kid, but he doesn't need to go back in that ring against that man. He needs to stay the hell away from him.
Interesting info. I'd love to debate what's your price to get knocked out if you would get knocked out for $2 million, but we'll stay focused on the Cowboys here. Stephen A., I will start with you. Over under 9.5 wins for Dallas.
I'm going to go over. They're playing in the NFC least. I think the Dallas Cowboys are going to win at least 10 games.
Over. Okay, big
Dallas
time.
Cowboys, listen. The fall will be precipitous. The fall will come. Ain't like they're going to win a Super Bowl.
There we go.
You understand? They ain't going to win a Super Bowl. But can they win the division?
Dak's back.
Winning 10, 11, hell, maybe even 12 games? Sure. They could do that and then flop. Absolutely. Matter of fact, I fully expect it. Philadelphia Eagles rebuilding. Giants, not ready yet. Daniel Jones, not ready yet. Watch the Redskins. I think Fitzpatrick pickup is a big deal for them. Their defense is real. I think they'd be the number one threat to the Cowboys within the division. But with Dak Prescott back with that offense, particularly if they draft an elite, somebody elite on the defensive side of the ball, I definitely think the Dallas Cowboys are winning more than 9.5 games. I think they're going to win a minimum of 10 games, probably 11.
I'm taking the under, like the under with prejudice. The under, like with an exclamation point. Stephen A., 9.5 is the over-under for the Cowboys? Let me tell you something. Well, they're going to have Dak all year. I remember the last time Dak played a full season. He was excellent. And by the way, the Cowboys' offense, by some measures, was the best in the NFC. And they were playing behind a dominant offensive line, the best in the business. And they won 8 games in one of the worst divisions we've ever seen and didn't make the playoffs. And now let's look at it. The offensive line has gotten significantly worse. That's what they hung their hat on back then. The NFC East has gotten better. The Giants have gotten better, and Washington has gotten better. And before we write the Eagles off, let's just remember that this team has responded to every quarterback not named Carson Wentz at least as well as they responded to Wentz, meaning they played and their record was at least the same when they played for a non-Wentz quarterback as for Wentz. So I'm not so sure you write the Eagles off in that sad sack division. Okay? 9.5. So you're taking 10 games? I don't think that Dallas would be lucky to go 500. Lucky to go 500. The Giants' offensive line has improved. Daniel Jones is in year 3, this time with Saquon Barkley. They have a whole bunch of weapons on offense, including a wideout who's certainly a number 1 when he's on the field when they signed Galladay. They have tight ends. They have multiple receivers. No, the Giants' defense is good. No, the Cowboys 9.5 wins. If you can't make the playoffs in a lesser division behind a dominant offensive line, I'm supposed to think that you're going to win double-digit games in a better division when the offensive line has gotten worse. And Stephen has to say nothing of Mike McCarthy. Like, say whatever you want about Jason Garrett. Mike McCarthy couldn't hold his job in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers. As soon as they brought in another coach, they haven't stopped winning 13 games a year. They had a losing record with McCarthy by the end. No. I think that's a good bet. Take the under on Dallas.
I don't blame you for that because they've shown, and anytime their expectations are placed on their shoulders, they're allergic to prosperity. We understand that. They're the Cowboys. This is what they do. We get that. But I think in this particular season, particularly with Dak Prescott getting the money that he just got, combined with the fact that Ezekiel Elliott and those boys suffered without him, I think that the Dallas Cowboys will be hyped about this season, having Dak Prescott back and ready to go, and I think that's something that will bode well for them. That's number 1. Again, number 2, the NFC least is what it is. It's not that great of a division. We understand that, and I think by default, you're talking about them winning, in all likelihood, 4 or 5 of their 6 divisional games. And so I pay attention to that as well. And I think that when you combine all of that with the fact that if the defense gives you anything, you know what the offense is capable of giving you with Dak Prescott behind center. And I think that can definitely propel them for 10 wins. I think a safe bet would be 10 wins. I think 11 or 12 might be pushing it a little bit, but I do think it's possible.
I think I know what's going on here, Stephen A., and it doesn't have to do with any of this analysis. I know what it is. You just want the Cowboys fans' hopes elevated as much as possible because you don't want them falling off a second floor window, right? You want them falling off the 100th floor. I understand. Right. But that's what's going on.
But I do believe what I'm saying. I do believe what I'm saying. You're absolutely right. I mean, both things can be true. I do want their fall to be hardcore. I mean, I want it to be hard. I don't want them falling off the curb. I don't want them falling off the first or second floor. I want them plummeting. I want them crash landing. Absolutely true. But I really, really do believe they're going to win at least 10 games.
If they go 4-2 in the division, that's an if. They look like a 500 team to me in that division. I don't know that they're going to sweep the Giants or Washington. I would think those are kind of 1-1 series, and they got to sweep the Eagles to go 4-2. And they better be 500 against the rest of the league. Yeah. Okay. You know, if they do all that, they're a 9-win team. That's still the under. I don't see them going over 500 against the rest of the league and over 500 against their own division. No, I think the over-under on the Cowboys should be 8 games, and I think I would take the under.
Gotcha.
Stephen A., the optimist. Who would have thunk it? Last year, they ranked 28th in points allowed, so all I know is that defense is going to need to step it up if they're going to get anything done. Tomorrow, guys, we continue our First Take Draft Blitz, and that is with my New York Football Giants. Will the G-Men get some help